Welcome. This is Fling with a Battle Royale Week 3 first look. Let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so got the game tiles rolled up here over at DFS Army. So we're going to start with the Vegas lines. All right, so the first game to me that really stands out, and a game that we're probably going to be looking to target, is Detroit going against Arizona. This has the highest game total on the slate, with Detroit being the rare 3-point favorites. They're going against an Arizona team that's just really bad in the secondary. The Rams weren't able to expose it last week because they're so banged up on offense and they got a poor offensive line. But Arizona grades out as the second worst team in the secondary with a 47.2 PFF score. So that's definitely a game that we're looking to target. Another game that I think could really shoot out. We got Baltimore going on the road, their favorites as well, against Dallas. And that's the kind of game environment that we typically look to play Lamar Jackson when he's forced to score points. That's typically when, he's going to be pushing the issue. He's throwing to Zay Flowers. He's throwing to Andrews. He's targeting Bateman deep down the field. When they can play with the lead, he tends to keep his foot off the gas. So I think this is when you want to target the Baltimore offense. Henry, Flowers, Lamar, and of course the Cowboys. They will be forced to score points in this game. Now, they kind of put up a stinker last week against New Orleans, but maybe New Orleans is just quite good and they overlooked them. This game I think would be a good bounce back spot for them. So we're hoping this one could be high scoring, and Vegas certainly thinks it will be. And then let's see if we can hop into a live draft here. On Underdog, and we'll kind of go over these game tiles. Oh boy. Let's try this. It's always when you're doing a recording that this is a problem. Normally I just hop right in here and it's not a problem. Okay, we're in. So we got waiting for two people. So go back over here. The last one would be we got Philly going on the road to play New Orleans. So New Orleans with a 26-point implied team total. This is a 49.5-point game. Kamara obviously looks really good. I think we could play him again here as favorites. We could play Shaheed. We could play Chris Olave. We really haven't seen a lot from him. So hopefully he can get it going in this spot. And, that's really kind of the last spot that really stands out besides the Houston Texans going on the road to face Minnesota. So Minnesota's offense looks great. No surprise with Kevin O'Connell at the helm. And we know that Houston's going to be good this year. They have the plethora of pass catchers. They have that 24-point applied team total, something that you really want to target. I like CJ Stroud. Obviously, Nico Collins is the top guy. And right now it's kind of been disappointing for Tank Dell, but that could be a possible leverage spot, being undervalued. People are already sick of him in their season-long leagues. Might be a spot to play him here with a pretty good team total. The Vikings have been playing good defensively, but I expect that to come back down to earth at some point. And I think this could be a good spot for CJ Stroud to, target that secondary and actually end up having a good game. So maybe CJ Stroud would be another guy that we would be looking at. I think, obviously, Nico Collins is a guy we're going to be drafted highly. Are we going to get Mixon this week, or is there going to be Cam Akers? Because if it is, he's certainly undervalued. And, Diggs is in play, but I think Tank Dell could be a good leverage spot as well. Now, obviously, on the other side, Jefferson is going to be in consideration. And he's going in the first round. No surprise there. Did get a little banged up last week, but I think he's going to be good. Looks like this draft I'm going to be starting fourth. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, we just looked at that Dallas Baltimore game. CeeDee Lamb projected highly, going as the one here. Tyreek Hill, how far he's fallen just because of the Tua injury. Really tough for him. Tougher matchup going against Seattle secondary. Pretty good secondary and Skylar Thompson. So now we're seeing him drop in ADP. No surprise. He was going at the one spot like last week. But now have CeeDee Lamb and Amon Ra as the top two spots. We got Barkley, we got Kamara. Both Barkley and Kamara in that game obviously are going to go early. I don't think I'm going there. I think my pick would be Justin Jefferson or Nico Collins here. So we'll see kind of how this falls to me. Wow. So sometimes you just get lucky. I did not expect um Lamar Jackson to go second overall. That's pretty crazy to me. I'm gonna take Amon Ra here. I think projection wise, he's gonna be the best target. So now that I got Amon-Ra, I can stack him with Goff. I could do a bring back on the other side. Marvin Harrison Jr., Connor, Trey McBride. So we'll see where we end up going here. Alvin Kamara went first, so that's pretty wild as well. I like Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason could be a target. I typically like to get a running back with one of my first two picks. But if Justin Jefferson and Nico are both on the board here, I might just have to double up. And it looks like one of them will be. All right, so I'm going to take Nico in this spot. Um, I just think this is too good of a matchup, too good of a spot for Nico and both Amon-Ra. So really was comfortable starting wide receiver there. Jordan Mason definitely won't make his way back to me, but we can look at some other running backs. Obviously, Jahmyr Gibbs would be a guy I'd be interested in. And he would actually correlate quite well with Amon-Ra. We could look at Derrick Henry. He's favored in this spot against Dallas. Mason will probably go. We could look at Rashad White against the Broncos. That would be a pretty good spot. Are we going to get Charbonnet another week? I don't know. That's probably too risky to say. So I'd probably just avoid that spot entirely. And yeah, some tough decisions. Indy 22 and a half going against Chicago. I could see that as well. So interesting enough, Marvin Harrison, big week last week, a little bit of recency bias, went pretty early in this draft, but obviously we saw the talent on display. So not much of a surprise there. And James Conner, okay. Let's see if Gibbs makes it back. I will be surprised if he does not. I'd probably go with Jonathan Taylor. All right, he did make it back. So we'll take Jameer Gibbs right there to stack with Amon-Ra. Jahmyr Gibbs is a receiving back, so I actually like him with Jared Goff. I think I could stack him with Goff. And let's see where Goff is going to be going. So he's going to be going at the end of the draft. I can get him in the last round. Got to be looking at getting another running back. I would take Taylor. I would take Henry. Would I want to do a triple stack with Laporta? Probably not. If Trey McBride is there, I would take him. Another guy that I'm guessing he already went. Trey McBride. So Trey McBride did go. I think I'll wait and take Andrews later in the draft. So yeah, I think this could be a good spot for Jonathan Taylor. So I'll take Jahmyr Gibbs and Jonathan Taylor. And now I just have to get my tight end and my quarterback. I like playing two running backs on Underdog Fantasy because it is half PPR. In fact, when I went back and looked at all the 2023 Battle Royale winners, two-thirds of them took a running back in the flex. So that's something I'm going to be looking to target just about every week. As much as I like Goff here, if Laporta, if Kyler Murray makes it back to me, I could definitely see taking him as well. Wow, that's surprising that Laporta made it back. I'm probably just going to take him in that spot. And now I definitely have to stack him with Goff, which is kind of overstack this game. If this game shoots out, I'm in a great spot. Um, Laporta, I really didn't think he'd be there, so it's definitely a stack that's going to be heavy. It's going to be heavy if I get Jared Goff here. So J.K. Dobbins, interesting enough, he actually has had a to start the season, he's leading the league after two games, 266 rushing yards. He's got 9.9 yards per carry. So just truly remarkable stuff so far from J.K. Dobbins. We saw Henry go right after I took Laporta. He's in a good spot as well. So, you know, I think he could be a good guy that you target this week, specifically with Lamar going so early in drafts. So Kyler Murray went. I did give some slight thought to taking Kyler Murray just because of his running floor, but I think with who I have, Jared Goff, this makes a lot more sense. The Jared Goff +3. It would have been a little silly to get Kyler Murray in that spot. So tempting, didn't happen. Glad he didn't go, or glad he went before me anyway. But Goff, Gibbs, Amon-Ra stack with Laporta as well. So Goff +3. I got Jonathan Taylor. I got Nico Collins. So this is a team from a projection standpoint that I think projects really well this week. If that game environment does shoot out, I certainly think this game, the stack that I have, this team stack certainly puts me in a good spot to maybe take down the tournament. Um, this was just a first look, of course. I'm going to do a lot more of these drafts, get a feel for what the field is doing. I'm guessing Lamar Jackson isn't going to go second in every draft. That's really early. So, just getting a feel for what the field is going to do after doing several of these. And then, we look for our value guys where we can really make some pivots, some guys that we think are undervalued that we want to target, some guys that are overvalued that we want to fade. So, we'll certainly be doing more of these and get that figured out as the week goes along. So, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you for joining me this time. We'll see you next time.